Right. Okay, we're going. Quick film about Maxed Out and the reason why I made it and what's in it. I just made one, but it came out upside down, so I'm starting again. Maxed Out. Pretty. Colour comes mostly from coffee and tobacco, which are some of the naturals in this one. I never shy from using synthetics nor from telling people about it because everybody does. And I really do get tired of people standing there going, ooh, of course, madam, it's completely natural. And you just want to punch them after a while because it's not true. Right, that said, what's in Maxed Out? Well, okay, quite a lot of naturals because I like them. They're complex, they're lovely. You have to macerate them for weeks and weeks and weeks before they really work nicely. But and I needed them for this. So I never would have made this at all if it hadn't been for Maximilian. We got chatting about how I wanted to make these perfumes that reminded people the people, they were so sensual, so gorgeous that people would follow you down the street just to find out what you're wearing. The story is Crimes of Passion. It's on my website. And I was thinking I wanted to make 7. And Max said, if I ever had a perfume made for me, the one I would really want to commission would be this. The scent of my old life before he sort of cleaned up, and all his vices now are perfume related. But it would be marijuana cigars, buckets of rum cocktails, high-class escorts, blackout, and regret. So, as a perfumer, somebody who makes that kind of stories and scents, rather than the big business fabric conditioner kind of perfume, I'm making little stories in perfumes, and that is one heck of a story. So I had to do it. Max was quite surprised when he got the result because I don't think he thought it was possible. But like I said, we've not actually met yet. So what's in it? Well, we start with the marijuana cigars. It's mostly tobacco. It's beautiful tobacco absolute with a hemp essential oil, cannabis sativa essential oil. It's not illegal. It's quite stinky. Marijuana just stinks. So the reason that you can't smell it a lot, somebody's mentioned that they don't really get strong marijuana notes. Well, I didn't want to use other things to make that really pungent, spot it from the other side of a field in a festival kind of a smell. I wanted it to be the kind of smell that people who smoke it a lot want to disguise. Which is in my experience, people are like, oh, I can't go out without a joint, I've got to smoke this, I've got to do that. And then they go, oh, it smells, I'm going to have to cover it up with this, and this. Anyway, that's just my experience. Not good. So I've decided I'd cover it up. So I've used some of the things that people used to cover it up with, which is why it's also got patchouli, with the traditional covering up of marijuana fragrance in here as well. But that creates a nice chocolatey base I thought would go beautifully with this. So that's why it doesn't stink of marijuana, because I can't stand the stuff. So, but it's in there, promise you. It's about 1% of the formula. I've got my formula book here, cheating. Quick, that's all you're saying. So this is a little story of Maxed Out. So, right, next, we're on to the cocktails. Lime, green cognac, olive, a beautiful olive absolute fragrance, which is, I just had it sitting there waiting for the perfect moment. This was that perfect moment. A coconut, a synthetic lactone, which creates the coconutty smell. And this fantastic rum CO2 extract that I got from Man Frère in France, natural specialist. Oh, amazing stuff. It nearly filled the entire studio. See, 2 floors, that mezzanine. It just filled the whole place. It smelled like we've been just having a party that lasted a week and a half. Had to get the lid on fast before it all evaporated. So that's your cocktail part, rum and cognac and olives and coconuts and limes, so quite Caribbean there. Well, then we get to the high-class escorts. Here I use in my imagination. So I went for musks that have been around sort of 40s, 50s, 60s, to give a nice, it's a soothing, clean, very clean smell, musk. And I added ethyl maltol, which smells a little bit like candy floss, because I just wanted a little bit of kind of, well, synthetic sweetness. It's exactly what I wanted in my high-class escort, because it's not real. So, musks and sweetness for her and her friends. Then a bit of kind of body, a bit of masculine body. So rosewood, black pepper, spicy stuff, and cabrueva, which is a nice, well, kind of greeny, woody sort of a smell. And then we finish with coffee, because if you have one of those evenings where the next day you need your friends to tell you what you did, or you need to check your Twitter feed and look up the photographs, that's when you really need some coffee. So I'm using proper coffee absolute for this. This comes from Robertet, another French natural specialist, and blimey, they can do a good coffee, and that's what I thought he would probably need. So there you have it, the smell of Maxed Out. Max says it smells just like his Ferragamo jacket from 2003, which, long story also, he lost. So he has it back now. The lovely people at Lucky Scent took it on first. They actually ordered a total of 42 bottles before they'd even smelt it. Because, thanks guys, the orders were coming in, thanks to Max, talking about it, people ordering it before they smelt it. So I really, really hope that you're enjoying it. I don't think there's anything else quite like it out there. It'll be available, it's available from my website, it's going to be in the UK, in other shops soon, and some more shops in the US are going to stock it. So if you want it, just knock on the door of your retailer, your favourite perfume shop, and say, guys, you should have this, because then I'll make some more. There's only, at the moment, there are 6 litres in the world. 3 litres of them are still upstairs in my studio where I make everything. One guy actually owns 100 ml of it. Bless him, he bought it in advance before he knew it was going to smell like. That's something else. So yeah, we can make more. We make it all by hand here ourselves. We make it pretty much to order. We're going to make this a little bit in advance because it really does need a bit of maceration. The notes, we want them to kind of stand out so you can pick out each point in this story. But on the other hand, we do want it to blend nicely. And, you know, we want that. Oh, the cumin. Did I forget? I've got the cumin. Okay. Yes. He had to have a bit of cumin. The reason why? Because cumin smells a bit like when you wake up in the morning and realise it's time to go home and have a shower. It has to be handled carefully. You don't want to be travelling on the public transport to work in the morning and people actually believing that that's what happened. That would be a bad thing. So, yeah, there's cumin in it, and I know that on some people's skin it smells stronger than others. But, you know, to finish this story, it just had to be there. So, right. I think it's probably time for me to shut up, because I can talk about perfume. Probably for the English Olympic team, the British Olympic team, I could compete in chatting about perfume and possibly even get the silver. So I'm going to go now. Thank you very much for watching.